What's up everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Raw Sports Talk. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. This is going to be my NFL predictions episode series. So let's kick it off with a bang. I'm going to start off with the NFC East. And with the NFC East, the very first team that I'm going to choose to predict is going to be the New York Football Giants. Let's get to it. So in week number 1, the New York Giants play at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that this is going to be one of the best games of the season that Ben Roethlisberger is going to play, and I think that the Pittsburgh Steelers defeat the Giants pretty handily, and it's a shame to say this, but I don't foresee very many wins this year for the New York Giants. Week number 2, we travel to Chicago Bears. There isn't very much to say with the Bears except, Mitch Trubisky instead of Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes. Their defense is great, but I have a feeling that Mitch Trubisky will be the reason why the Giants win this game and give them one of their very few wins that they're going to have all season long. So I have the Giants winning that game in week number 2. If you guys see me glance over a little bit to the screen, I have my TV in front of me which has the schedule, so if I look down, don't think I'm looking off screen, I'm just looking at the TV. Week number 3, they play the San Francisco 49ers. The Giants are absolutely going to get crushed. I know it's a West Coast team coming east, and I believe that they do, at the 1 o'clock time zone. That won't matter very much because in week 3 and 4, the 49ers play both the Giants and the Jets. So they're going to be on the East Coast. They'll probably stay, and they'll probably whoop both of those teams' asses. So there's another loss for the New York Giants in week number 3. Week number 4, they travel out to LA to play the Rams. The Rams are another one of these tricky teams because they sold off everyone in a fire sale, so we're not sure if they're going to be good or bad. I predict that they're going to be bad. However, they're good enough to beat the Giants, and the Giants lose that game. Week number 5, they play the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas. Spoiler alert, I'm a Cowboy hater, not very much of a surprise there. The Giants are actually my team, so it's paining me to do some of these division games, but in Jerry World, they're going to have the better offensive line, the better running game. It also pains me to say this, but the better quarterback and a much better wide receiver group. The Cowboys win this game and they probably blow out the Giants. I know that they're probably going to split the season series with the Cowboys, and that kind of makes this a little bit sweeter, at least in my opinion. Week number 6, the Giants get another win. They play the Washington Redskins and they play them at home. The Redskins are probably going to be the worst team in the NFL. It's going to be a little bit of a competition, but I don't really foresee anyone surpassing the Redskins to be that atrocious. So the Giants win this game very, very easily over the Washington Redskins. Week number 7, they play at the Philadelphia Eagles. Now my predictions for the NFC East and for all of these games are provided that Carson Wentz is healthy. If someone blows on him and he goes down and he gets hurt, this is an entirely different kind of prediction. But we're going with the information that we have right now and that he's healthy. And the Eagles crush the Giants in Philadelphia. Week number 8, it doesn't seem like it's going to get very much easier for the Giants. They play on Monday Night Football at home, but they play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, last year, this would have been looking like a winnable game. Now with all of the information that we have with Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski coming to Tampa Bay, the Buccaneers are going to crush the Giants, even though they're playing in New York. It won't matter very much. Tom Brady's just too good, the Buccaneers have too good of a roster, and Daniel Jones is going to do something stupid where the Giants are going to win, to lose this game. Week number 9, the Giants get another win when they play the Washington Redskins again in Washington. As I said before, I think the Redskins are going to be really bad. If you're a Redskins fan, at least there's always next year, and this quarterback draft is stacked. There's supposed to be some tremendous talent coming out in the draft. Sorry for you guys, but there's always next season. Week number 10, we play at home, and we play the Philadelphia Eagles again. That's going to be another loss. As I said before, maybe this game's a little bit closer because we're playing at home. I don't think so. I think the Eagles win that game handily. Week number 11 is a bye week. Week number 12, they travel to Cincinnati to play Joe Burrow and the Bengals. The NFL teams will finally have enough tape on him to decide what they need to do and how they need to strategize against Joe Burrow. And if there's only one thing worse than being a Redskins fan, it's probably being a Bengals fan or a Browns fan. The state of Ohio, when it comes to sports, kind of sucks, and I really feel bad for you guys. But the Giants win this game in week 12. against the Cincinnati Bengals. Week 13, they fly out to Seattle, and this is going to be an ass-whooping of epic proportions for the Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson is the MVP. I don't care if they have no defense and no running game. It's the Giants. The Giants aren't very good right now. The Seahawks win that game. This is one of those tricky games now in Week 14 when they come back home to play the Arizona Cardinals. Are the Cardinals going to be good? Are the Cardinals going to be bad? Are they going to be mediocre? They added DeAndre Hopkins. We all have high hopes to see what Kyler Murray can do. I just think that with all the tape that all of these teams are going to have on Kyler Murray, it might be a different situation than it was last year, and I see the Giants just slightly squeaking this game out over the Cardinals. Probably will be like a 3-point game. In week number 15, we play the Cleveland Browns. Another Ohio team. Sorry, Ohio sports fans, I'm going to be ripping on you guys a lot in these videos. And it's Odell Beckham Jr.'s, I don't want to say reunion, but he used to play for us in the Giants. He wanted to get the hell out. He went to the Browns. And it's nothing worse than having a Super Bowl caliber roster and not living up to expectations than just being a dumpster fire and rebuilding. But this is another one of those few wins that I give the Giants all season because I think Baker Mayfield does something in this game to lose the Browns the game and the Giants win. Week number 16, we play at the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson is the former MVP. They beefed up their defense by adding Calais Campbell. Their running game was incredible. They pretty much were putting up Madden stats last year. Unless the Baltimore Ravens have absolutely nothing to play for in this game, which I don't foresee being a possibility, they're going to crush the New York Giants in Baltimore in week number 16. So that's another loss for the Giants. Week number 17, as I said earlier, I felt that the Giants were going to split the games with the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I'm giving you a little teaser ahead that I predict that the Giants will win this game at home. And this game in particular is going to make me a slight bit happier than all of the other games because the Cowboys probably are going to be in the chance to win the division. And with this loss to the Giants, it's going to either knock them out of the playoffs or out of playoff contention. And it's probably going to cost the Giants a few slots in the draft, but nothing is a bigger fuck you to your most hated rival than beating them in a game that they should absolutely whoop your ass in. So I have the Giants winning this game. Now, I don't know if you were keeping track, but I have the New York Giants going 5-11. They're a bad football team. This is going to be one of those things where they realize that they overreached for Daniel Jones, and in a few years they're probably going to replace him because he has that Kirk Cousins fumbleitis going on. Moving on along, we're going to go to the Dallas Cowboys schedule. So in week number 1, the Dallas Cowboys travel out to LA to play the Rams. I have the Cowboys winning this game. The Cowboys are the better team. We don't know what the Rams are, and they have Ezekiel Elliott. Enough said. The Cowboys win. Week number 2, they play the Atlanta Falcons. Now they're home. This is their home opener. Atlanta's another bad team. So the Cowboys win that game. They go 2-0. Week number 3, the Cowboys get a little bit of a reality check, and they fly out to Seattle. Russell Wilson is an MVP candidate. I've said his accolades in the last little tidbit, like with the Giants preview. I think the Seahawks destroy the Cowboys and kind of let everyone know exactly what the Cowboys are. But don't worry, Cowboy fans. You're going to get a list of bad teams in a row where you're going to get some wins. So, week number 4, you play the Cleveland Browns. It's hard not to kick a dog when it's down, but good Lord, it's the Cleveland Browns again. The Cowboys win this game in week 4 at home. Week number 5, they play the Giants. The Giants are probably going to be one of the worst teams in this division, and they win that game. Week number 6, they play the Arizona Cardinals. This is another one of those games where I'm not quite sure how to play it, but I believe that the Cowboys are going to win this game. I don't think that it's going to be a blowout. I think that they're going to do just enough to beat the Cardinals in week number 6, and would you look at that, they're on a roll, and the Dallas Cowboys right now are 5-1. Week number 7, they play the dumpster fire of the division in Washington. This is just basically let the Redskins wave the white flag. Don't show up, they're going to get beat. The Cowboys beat the Redskins and now move on to 6-1. Then week number 8, they travel to Philadelphia. Now, I'm not quite sure if Carson Wentz is going to play. As I said, all of these are predicting with Carson Wentz, not without him. So this is the first loss that I have in a while for the Dallas Cowboys because the Eagles are home. These are division games. They generally split. And I think that Carson Wentz is a better quarterback than Dak Prescott. Yes, he doesn't have anyone to really throw to, but I still think that they're a better team. They have a better quarterback to lead them, and they're home. Then week 9, they play the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is when the winning train starts happening again. I have them beating the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Cowboys are home, so they should beat, though we don't know what they are, Pittsburgh Steelers. Week number 10 is a bye. Week number 11, with the new coach and Mike McCarthy, he's going to go back to an old division rival and travel to Minnesota. Now, Minnesota is one of these teams where their defense has been great. Their motto is run the ball, play defense, don't have to have Kirk Cousins beat you to win the game. I say the Vikings do just enough at home to win this game. So now, the Cowboys lose this game to Minnesota. Week number 12, they play the dumpster fire Redskins again. That's another easy win. Week number 13, they travel to Baltimore to play the Baltimore Ravens. This is kind of where the Cowboys are who we thought they were. And it's a true slap in the face to all Cowboys fans because everyone's going to be pointing at their record right now. And Lamar Jackson and the Ravens do what they're supposed to do and absolutely crush the Dallas Cowboys in Baltimore. But unfortunately, the Cowboys get a reprieve in week 14 when they travel to Cincinnati and play the Bengals. There's nothing better and no better team to lick your wounds against than the Cincinnati Bengals, who are rebuilding after you get your ass whooped by epic proportions by a contending playoff team. And yeah, the Cowboys demolish the Bengals in this game. Now here's where the fun part of this schedule comes for me. Weeks 15, 16, and 17. Week 15, they play the San Francisco 49ers. I know that they're home, but the 49ers have a great defense. They were in the Super Bowl last year, and Dak Prescott is not Patrick Mahomes. So I don't foresee their defense giving up a 20-point lead to the Dallas Cowboys. So there's a loss. Week number 16, now they're home again. They play the Philadelphia Eagles. And I know that I said that these teams usually split, but I'm a Cowboy hater. So I'm giving the Eagles another win in this game. Now, as I teased before in the Giants schedule, week number 17 is a game now that the Cowboys must win. Because if they win this game, they go 10-6 and potentially win the division. But if they lose this game, which I predicted that they will, they go 9-7. And now with how good the NFC is, the Cowboys had this entire chance in this entire season to make the playoffs, and they do what they do best and fall apart and go 9-7 by losing to the Giants, a team that they should absolutely beat, but they won't. So my prediction for the Dallas Cowboys is going to be 9-7 after an epic fail of the last 3 weeks of the season where they go 0-3 after being 9-4 and finish the season at 9-7. Moving on along, now we are going to the Washington Redskins. Give me a moment to pull up their schedule. Trust me guys, this one should be quick because there aren't very many wins in this prediction. So week number 1, they play the Philadelphia Eagles. That's a loss. Week number 2, they travel out to Arizona to play Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. I say that that's a loss. So right now, we have the Washington Redskins going 0-2. Week number 3, they play at the Cleveland Browns. That's a loss. Week number 4, they play the Baltimore Ravens. Yes, they're home. If anyone thinks that the Redskins belong on the field with the Ravens, you are sadly mistaken, and I want some of the drugs that you guys are smoking. Week number 5, they play the Rams. This is kind of one of those games where if the Redskins are going to end up with another win this season, this would be it, but I have them losing this game to the Los Angeles Rams. Week number 6, they play at the New York Giants. If you were paying attention already, you know that I predicted the Giants to win this game. Week number 7, they play the Dallas Cowboys. And yet again, in this last video, I said the Cowboys are going to win. The Redskins are a really, really bad team. Week number 8 is their bye. Week number 9, they play the Giants again. and the Giants beat them. So as of right now, the Redskins are 0-8. And you're really kind of wondering, are they going to go 0-16? Well, fortunately for the Redskins, they have the Detroit Lions on their schedule. And this is the epitome of we fall apart and we lose games that we're supposed to do. Probably even more so epically than the Dallas Cowboys. The sickening part is that the Lions are going to be home for this game, and this is one of the games that I predict that the Lions are going to lose and the Redskins will win. Probably will be close. No one will probably be watching because no one will give much of a shit. But the Redskins win this game and get their first win of the year. Week number 11, they play the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I know that I keep ripping on the Bengals, but the Bengals will be better than the Redskins. At least there's a little bit more hope. Week number 12, they play at Dallas, and that's the Cowboys again. There's another loss. Week 13, they play at the Steelers. There's another loss. Week 14, they play at San Francisco. This is kind of like Murderers Row. They're going to lose again. Week 15, they play at home against Seattle. Yet again, we already know the Seahawks are going to win this game. Week 16, they play the Carolina Panthers and Teddy Two Gloves. Luke Kuechly just retired. He was the captain and the heart and soul of their defense. It's not to disrespect Teddy Bridgewater, but that's another bad team. We know that they're going to be turning around and handing the ball off to Christian McCaffrey, but somehow I just feel that the Redskins win this game at home, and that's their second win of the year. And then they close out the season in Philadelphia, where they get their asses whooped by the Eagles, who actually are going to have something to play for because they want the division so that they can make the playoffs. So I have the Washington Redskins going. Survey says, drum roll please, 2-14 and being one of the worst teams in the NFL. Moving on to the Philadelphia Eagles. As I said, we're moving on to the Philadelphia Eagles. Week number 1, they play at the Washington Redskins. You already know what I think of the Redskins. They're a dumpster fire. The Eagles win this game. Then the Eagles play the Rams. They play them at home. It's their home opener. I say the Eagles win this game. Week number 3, they get to beat up on the Cincinnati Bengals at home. Now week number 4, they actually play a real team. And we're going to see how good or bad they actually are in this Sunday night football game in San Francisco, but I still project that they're going to lose. The 49ers defense is just way too good. So they hand the Philadelphia Eagles their first loss of the season. It's okay because week 5, they rebound and play their in-state rival in the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know that no team does more with less than the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they're playing in Pittsburgh, but I still have the Eagles slightly edging out the Steelers in this game for a win. Week number 6, they play the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are a better team. The Ravens are going to win this game. Week number 7, they play the New York Giants. At home, I predict that they're going to win this game. I really believe that they're going to sweep the Giants and the Cowboys in these series, which is going to help them make the playoffs. Week number 8, they play the Cowboys at home. So back-to-back division rivals at home, and they win both of these games. So they're going to beat the Giants in week 7 and the Cowboys in week 8. Week 9, they have a bye, and then week 10, they take that long bus ride over to New York and beat the Giants again in week number 10. Week number 11, they travel to Cleveland to play the Browns. Sorry, Browns fans, if I keep kicking you. I really don't like Baker Mayfield. He's just another one of those guys that's probably going to have a career mowing the lawns like he does in those, I believe it's State Farm commercials. And yeah, the Eagles win handily in this game. Then week 12, they go back home, they play the Seahawks. The Seahawks beat them in Philadelphia last year. I don't see that changing very much right now. But now the Eagles' schedule starts to get a little bit tougher, because then they travel to Green Bay in December to play Aaron Rodgers. I don't care if Aaron Rodgers has no one to throw to. He's at home, and it's going to be like minus 10 degrees in Green Bay, Wisconsin in December. So Packers are going to have the edge in that one, and I say that the Packers win that game. Then in week number 14, they host the New Orleans Saints. Sorry, Eagles fans, Drew Brees and the Saints are much better, and this isn't the postseason where they fall apart. The Saints win this game. So right now, you guys are on a 3-game losing streak. Then you play the Arizona Cardinals. And as I said before, I think that this is one of those teams that are kind of on the uptick, and we're not quite sure where they are, but the Cardinals are home. And I think that Kyler Murray has just enough magic to scramble out in the fourth quarter, find a way to pick up a first down, and then put his team in field goal position, and the Cardinals win that game at home and win the game by 3 or by 2, because, who knows, this game could be really close. But I have the Cardinals winning this game. So right now, it's really looking kind of scary for Eagles fans because you're on a 4-game losing streak. But wouldn't you know it, you get the Dallas Cowboys in week number 16, and as I said, I feel that you guys are going to sweep the series. So even though it's in AT&T Stadium and the Cowboys would have a chance to put the Eagles away and take the division, and they just aren't going to do it. Because in Cowboy fashion, they are going to lose this game, and the Eagles will win. Whether it's close or not, I don't know, but the Eagles will win this game. And then week number 17, they get the college football team of their division in the Washington Redskins. And now the Eagles crush the Redskins, win the division, make the playoffs, and then hopefully eliminate the Dallas Cowboys, going 10-6. If miracles were only true on some place other than 34th Street, this would make me really happy. So, to recap, for the entire NFC East, I have the Eagles coming in first place and winning the division at 10-6, the Cowboys falling apart and coming in second at 9-7. Then it's the New York Football Giants at 5-11, and the dumpster fire of the Washington Redskins at 2-14. Let me know what you think about my predictions in the comments. Like and subscribe. Just want to let you guys know that this is just my picks on heads up, game by game. When the point spreads get released, that'll be another little series that I'm going to do where I'll make my NFL picks against the spread. But for right now, this is just me picking heads up. Thank you guys for watching my channel. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out.
Ooh, baby, I like it.